What if the knee pain you've accepted as just part of getting old isn't coming from your knees at all but from habits you locked in decades ago without realizing it? Most people over 65 believe their joints are wearing out because of age, gravity, or bad luck. But here's the mystery. Millions of seniors with the same x-rays, the same diagnoses, and the same birthdays walk pain-free every day. So, what are they doing differently and why does almost no one explain it until it's too late? Early clues have been hiding in plain sight for years. Doctors have seen patients in their 70s regain mobility without surgery. Physical therapists quietly note that certain daily routines predict who ends up with a cane and who doesn't. Large U.S. health surveys keep pointing to the same patterns. But the full truth rarely gets said out loud, because it challenges what most of us were taught about aging, rest, and being careful. Something critical is missing from the knee pain conversation, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. To understand why knee pain explodes in later life, we have to rewind the clock. Not to your 60s, not even to your 50s. The origins of knee pain often start in early adulthood. In the 20s and 30s, the body is incredibly forgiving. According to long-term data from the National Institutes of Health, cartilage can tolerate uneven loading for years before it sends distress signals. People sit more, move less, and rely on chairs, cars, and conveniences. Muscles around the hips and thighs quietly weaken, while the knees take on extra stress. There's no pain yet, so no one worries, 'cause is laid down long before effect is felt. Then come the changes that start quietly in the 40s. This is where the timeline gets interesting. Research from the Framingham Osteoarthritis Study shows that muscle mass and joint lubrication begin to decline faster after age 40. Even in people who feel healthy, synovial fluid, the natural oil inside your joints, thickens when movement becomes repetitive and limited. At the same time, balance receptors in the feet and ankles dull. The knee compensates. It twists a little more. It absorbs shock it was never designed to handle alone. Still, there may only be stiffness in the morning or a twinge on stairs, easy to ignore. Most people do. Here's the twist almost no one hears. Pain is not the first problem. Instability is. By the time pain shows up, the system has been off for years. This is why old advice fails later on. Now we reach the shift after 70 that most people ignore. According to CDC data, nearly 50% of Americans over 65 have radiographic evidence of knee osteoarthritis, but far fewer have severe pain. That gap is the clue. After 70, the nervous system becomes more protective. It limits range of motion to avoid injury. Movements get smaller, steps get shorter, chairs get higher, shoes get softer. All of this feels safer, but it reduces daily joint nutrition. Cartilage doesn't have its own blood supply. It feeds on motion. Less motion means less nourishment. The knee stiffens further, not because it's worn out, but because it's underused in the wrong ways. Then comes the breaking point, the moment when the problem becomes visible. Maybe it's a trip on the curb. Maybe it's a long flight where the knee swells and won't calm down. Maybe it's the day you realize you can get up from the floor without help. This is usually when imaging is done, the skin shows degeneration. The story becomes, your knees are bad. But the skin can't show habits. It can't show years of movement patterns. It can't show what you stopped doing daily. The fallout hits fast. Knee pain changes how people live. American health economic studies show that knee osteoarthritis is one of the top drivers of reduced independence in seniors. Pain leads to less walking. Less walking leads to weight gain. Weight gain increases knee load by up to 4 pounds for every extra pound of body weight, according to research published in Arthritis and Rheumatology. Medical costs rise. Social lives shrink. Fear creeps in. This isn't just about joints, it's about lifestyle, money, and identity. So what do most seniors try? The failed fixes. They rest more. They avoid stairs. They ice constantly. They rely on braces. Some jump straight to injections or surgery because they were told nothing else works at your age. But here's the uncomfortable data. Large reviews in JAMA and the New England Journal of Medicine show that passive treatments alone rarely change long-term knee pain outcomes. They reduce symptoms temporarily, but don't address the cause and effect chain that started decades earlier. This is where the daily habits come in and why they work when done consistently, even in old age. The first habit sounds almost as simple, which is why people dismiss it: frequent low-load movement. Not exercise classes, not gym workouts, frequent movement spread across the day. Studies using accelerometers in adults over 70 show that breaking up sitting time every 30 to 60 minutes improves joint lubrication and reduces stiffness markers. Knees respond not to intensity, but to regular signals. The people whose knee pain fades are the ones who move often, gently, and without drama. The second habit is restoring hip strength, not knee strength. This is where cause and effect finally reveal themselves. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that weak hip abductors increase knee joint stress by altering alignment during walking. Seniors who focus only on the knee miss the upstream driver. Simple daily habits: standing leg lifts, controlled side steps, even mindful walking shift the load away from the knee. Pain often decreases before strength gains are even noticeable. That surprises people, but it's consistent across studies. The third habit is foot awareness. This one hides in plain sight. Large population studies from the American Orthopedic Foot and Ankle Society show strong links between foot mobility and knee pain. Cushioned, restrictive shoes reduce sensory feedback. The knee compensates again. Seniors who spend short periods each day barefoot at home, or who practice gentle toe and ankle mobility, often report less knee discomfort within weeks. The chain is foot to knee to hip, not the other way around. The fourth habit is controlled exposure to load, not avoidance. This is where old advice did real damage. Avoiding load tells the nervous system the joint is fragile. Controlled load tells it the joint is capable. Research on progressive loading in adults over 65 shows improved cartilage health markers and reduced pain sensitivity. Sitting down slowly, standing up without using hands, using stairs intentionally, these daily habits retrain confidence at the joint level. The fifth habit is sleep-linked inflammation control. This one surprises almost everyone. Poor sleep increases systemic inflammation, which directly amplifies joint pain perception. Data from the National Sleep Foundation and NIH show that adults over 60 who improve sleep duration and consistency report significant reductions in musculoskeletal pain even without changing activity. Knee pain is not just mechanical, it's neurological and inflammatory. Now link all of this to today. The seniors whose knee pain vanishes didn't get lucky. They unknowingly corrected the cause and effect chain. They moved more often, strengthened upstream muscles, restored sensory input, reintroduced load safely, and reduced inflammation. The pattern repeats across millions of Americans, quietly contradicting the idea that knees simply fail with age. So here are 3 direct actions you can apply today if you're over 60. First, stand up and move for 2 minutes every half hour you're awake. Not exercise movement. Second, add one daily habit that strengthens your hips, even if it feels unrelated to your knees. Third, choose one daily task like standing from a chair or climbing stairs to do slowly and intentionally, without rushing or bracing. Here's the warning, and it matters: complete avoidance of knee load accelerates decline. The evidence is clear. Protecting the joint by not using it is often what makes pain permanent. And here's the open thought I want you to sit with. What if the next generation of seniors never develops knee pain at all, not because of new drugs or surgeries, but because of habits started decades earlier? If this helps you see knee pain differently, do me a favor: like this video and share it with someone who thinks their knees are too old to change. And if you want the next chapter, where we break down one overlooked habit that predicts who ends up needing knee replacement and who never does, subscribe now. This story in over.